Good afternoon and welcome to IBA News this Monday the 6th of June. I'm Elon Aslan-Levy joining you live from Jerusalem. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu departed for Moscow a short time ago for talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The two are set to discuss the strengthening of military cooperation between Israel and Russia and to celebrate 25 years of diplomatic relations. Also on the agenda is the ongoing Syrian civil war and stalled efforts to solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The two-day trip will be Netanyahu's third to Russia and his fourth meeting with the Russian president since last September. Upon his departure, Netanyahu stressed that Israel is deepening its relations with the world power, highlighting the importance of the ties for Israel's national security. Attorney General Avichai Mandelblit has instructed the authorities to investigate allegations by French millionaire Arnaud Mimran, who claims he gave €1 million to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu during his 2009 election campaign. Mimran revealed the details while testifying before a Paris court, where he is facing fraud charges. The chairman of the French judges panel said details of the payment were documented in an evidence file. In a statement, the Prime Minister's office called the accusations a lie and denied Netanyahu had received any prohibited contribution from Mimran. The statement further acknowledged that Mimran had contributed to Netanyahu's public activities in the early 2000s, when Netanyahu was a private citizen. It went on to accuse the French millionaire of trying to divert attention from the charges he is facing by accusing Netanyahu instead. Education Minister and Jewish Home Chairman Naftali Bennett has opened another rift with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after last week's confrontation on the question of a cabinet military secretary. Speaking at the Merkaz Harav Yeshiva in honor of Jerusalem Day, Bennett alluded to the Prime Minister's willingness to renew peace talks based on the Saudi initiative, saying one cannot be in favor of the land of Israel in Hebrew and form a Palestinian state in English. Sources in the Likud said Bennett's campaign of hypocrisy knows no bounds and urged him to stop attacking the Prime Minister. In an interview last week, Bennett threatened to topple the government to prevent an Israeli retreat to the 1967 lines, including a division of Jerusalem. It has been cleared for publication that authorities in Kiev have foiled 15 terror attacks planned for the 2016 UEFA Euro tournament in France. The head of the security service in Ukraine said a 25-year-old French citizen had been arrested at the end of May on the Ukrainian-Polish border with 2 rocket launchers, 100 detonators, 5 Kalashnikov assault rifles, and more than 100 kilograms of TNT explosives. He later confessed to planning a series of attacks against Jewish and Islamic places of worship, as well as public institutions in France. The attacks were to have taken place starting the eve of the Euro Soccer Championship games, which began this Friday, the 10th of June. Last week, British police revealed they had uncovered a plot by terrorists to target English fans attending the games. Sunday's Jerusalem Day flag parade through the Old City to the Western Wall passed with relatively little incident. This despite fears that the procession through the Muslim quarter just before the onset of Ramadan would spark clashes. The 2,000-strong police force announced a zero-tolerance policy for racism, and police removed 2 people waving flags of the far-right Lehava, as well as arresting 2 youths for racist chants. There remained numerous reports of marchers sporting stickers supporting population transfers of Arabs and endorsing the late extremist Rabbi Meir Kahane. Hundreds participated in an alternative march of families far away from Arab neighborhoods, and others handed out roses to passing Arabs in a gesture of goodwill. Meanwhile, at a special ceremony at Ammunition Hill, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu pledged that Israel would never return to the idea of a divided, split, wounded city, stressing that there has only ever been freedom for the 3 religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, in the Holy City under Israeli sovereignty. Simultaneously, New York City hosted its annual Celebrate Israel parade yesterday. Some 30,000 people took to the streets of Manhattan despite the rain, marching with Mayor Bill de Blasio, Israeli Consul Ido Aharoni, and Israel's UN Ambassador Danny Danon. The previous night, the Empire State Building was lit in blue and white in celebration. And in a first of its kind for the US, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo signed an executive order barring state agencies from dealing with businesses that support boycotting Israel. Closer to home, both Housing Minister Yoav Gallant and the Jerusalem municipality have denied reports of plans to build 2 new neighborhoods in northern Jerusalem. Israeli news site Walla had reported that Jerusalem planned to build a Jewish neighborhood of 15,000 housing units on the site of the disused Atarot airport, and another Arab neighborhood of 3,000 homes near Beit Hanina. Speaking to Israel Radio, Gallant asserted that if such plans were in the making, he would know about them. The municipality said that the mayor had ordered the creation of new workplaces on the site instead. 1.5 billion Muslims across the globe began observing the holy month of Ramadan last night, observed with a dawn to sunset fast. In the West Bank and Gaza, Palestinians stocked up on food, decorations and lights to adorn their homes during the holiday. In the Muslim faith, Ramadan marks the first revelation of the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad. Syrian Labs, a British-Israeli startup, is launching a mobile phone it says will offer state-of-the-art technology and unprecedented levels of security. The company says it has raised $72 million so far in private funds to launch the device aimed at the executive market. The phone will be based on the Android operating system and will have an estimated price tag of nearly $20,000, although company officials believe it could sell for less.
We are here to protect the business community or people that have a lot of sensitive information. Photos, emails, those are private stuff. You want to feel private. Everyone wants to feel private. But the solutions that we have today is simply not good enough.
The best of both worlds. It's a personal phone that you can use for all your everyday activities. So we're firing it up. You would have all your applications on it. You would have your calendar, you make calls, anything you would want. And then on the back, we have a switch. Once you move the switch, you identify yourself again with a fingerprint or with a password. So I will now open with a password. And then you move into a zone that is entirely secure, entirely encrypted. And in this zone, you can make secure calls and secure text messaging between Syrian phones. So these would be the highest level of security.
A school in the community of Bnei Dekalim in the eastern Lachish region was evacuated this afternoon after a fire broke out in the area. Firefighting crews and planes were dispatched to the site in an effort to prevent the flames, fanned by hot winds and high temperatures, from spreading towards the community and nearby Amatzia. Officials said a herd of cattle located in one of the fields nearby was evacuated, and police sealed off roads leading to the area. The fire was contained after several hours. Over to finance, shares are mixed on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, and the shekel has put in a mixed performance against major currencies. Here are the figures. And in weather, tomorrow should be warm with a slight rise in temperatures. Here are the highs and lows. That's all for today. Laura Cornfield will be back tomorrow with the latest news. I'm Elon Aslan Levy, wishing you a good evening, and to all our Muslim viewers, a Ramadan Kareem, live from Jerusalem.